Hi everybody, so in this video we're going to discuss the differences between multi-units and multi-unit screws between systems. So with that in mind, this is really easy to see. If we go on the website, we can go to Compatibility. So that is on scanladder.com, and then on the menu here we just click Compatibility. And it's going to give you a big list of all the different brands, and it's going to help you with understanding whether it's 1.4, 1.6 or 1.72, or indeed something special that isn't on the system yet. So what does that mean? Well, realistically, most multi-units are exactly the same. What I mean by that is the original multi-unit system, Nobel, has the same shape that everybody imagines when they think of a multi-unit, which is that sort of conical shape with the dome that curves over, ready with the screw at the top. There are slight variations in that, and that is mostly for different tools to connect to, whether it's got a hex on it, that sort of thing. But if we think of the actual fit of the superstructure over the top, for all intents and purposes, that shape is the same. Now, the screw that is traditional with Nobel and most systems is the 1.4mm screw. And that refers to the screw hole as it goes through the top of that multi-unit. Then through time, there's different screws that have replaced that 1.4 screw, with the rest of that platform remaining exactly the same. So that being 1.6mm and 1.72 being the most common. So out of those, we'd probably say 80 to 90% of all multi-units on the market are 1.4, with some being 1.6, and again, probably fewer still 1.72. And then we've got about 5% of the market, which are weird and wonderful things. And those screws can be 1.8, 2.0, and they are very few and far between. So much so that you probably haven't even heard of those implant brands. And then very occasionally something comes along which throws the whole thing out. And those ones are ones where the whole multi-unit structure itself is actually taller, wider, or something which uses a proprietary shape. Those systems have to have a specific type of multi-unit housing that fits over the top, or some form of shape that fits specific to that implant brand. The most common of those is the Breedent one. So we've got Breedent Sky Unicone and also Fast and Fixed. And those two shapes are really very nice. And most people don't understand why, and the reason being because the shape isn't just conical with the connection sort of being a big gap around it. They actually have a few connection points as it sits over the top of that multi-unit housing. So what that means is there's less room for error in the restoration, but also it means that the overall shape you can feel fit more snugly over the top of the multi-unit platforms. So the Fast and Fixed being slightly bigger than the Unicone. Thankfully, both of those are also now in ScanLadder. So if you use a Breedent system, either Fast and Fixed or Unicone, those are in the options which you can purchase as a kit. And that leads us on to our next question. So some people send over questions, can I buy a 1.4 kit and then just buy some 1.6 screws or 1.72, put them in? Or indeed use normal multi-unit screws from whichever system within the scan bodies? And the answer is no. And the reason why is the actual internal specifics of each of those different scan bodies, the 1.4, the 1.6, and the 1.72, externally are identical. And that means that with systems like Medit SmartX, they all scan exactly the same, they all register the same. The difference is the internal channel with the screw as it fits down onto that multi-unit. So if we go back to what I said before, those multi-units are the same between them. The screw is different, but as such, because of that, then each of the 1.4, 1.6, and 1.72 kits all have a slightly different structure, the shape of the cylinder that's above the multi-unit for those different screws. So if you imagine the 1.4 has a thinner cylinder, The 1.6 has a slightly wider one, and the same again with the 1.72. So you couldn't put a 1.6 inside the 1.4 because it wouldn't fit. Likewise, the shape of the internal structure of the scan bodies are designed for Rosen screws. So the Rosen screw system has a slightly different shape, and this is a subject for another chat where we'll show you the video in the background about Rosen screws, vortex screws, that sort of thing, about why they're used and what sort of benefits you might have. But just the only thing for this video we'll talk about is that the normal multi-unit screws, which are very compact, very flat at the bottom. Obviously, if you imagine the shape, that flat shape sitting down, the Rosen screw shape is more spread out, okay, tapered. So we can't put those to the full extent and depth into the Rosen screw canal because they just won't go deep enough, so they won't connect to your multi-unit. So because of that, we can't use the screws that aren't intended for the system in much the same way as for whatever implant system you use. You have to use the screw that is designed. And then the final question for this video, can you use the Rosen screws within the specific type? So say a 1.4 Rosen screw within your 1.4 scan ladder kit. Can we use whatever screw we want to restore the system that we're using, say their library, their screws, their tie bases? And of course the answer is yes. So to help you understand that, again, we can go on the website, we can click on CAD library, and there are videos showing you this. There are videos and library options. You can see if you read on the website, it helps you understand that. And we'll cover that in a little bit more detail in a separate video. But the simple answer to that question, yes, it's open. So it's open more clearly than any other one on the market, which is why ScanLadder is most probably the most widely used all-on-X solution in the world now, used by nearly 1,000 users globally because it is ultimately open. It's one of the only things in the dental market that is specifically open for you as a user, so that whatever implant system you use, whatever screw choice you have, whatever restoration type you want to produce, whichever lab you want to use, you are free and open to use whatever you want. So I hope that explains what the difference is between 1.4, 1.6, 1.72 and other systems. And of course, as always, if you have any questions, you can send us an email to info@scanladder.com. Have a look on the website, there's loads of information there, and get in touch with us if you need any more info. And of course, we ship globally. If you need anything, you can always go on the website. The eShop's there ready for you. So thanks very much. We'll see you in the next video.